maybe say welcome. Welcome, guys, and ladies and gentlemen, to this is the episode 6 of the Omni podcast with my regular true friends and great partner.
Rafael.
Yeah, and I am Trong, call me Rocky. I am, doing pretty well, and I'm very excited for this week because we have so many things going on. We can go back to our, dream about one day we can do music together. Yeah. So what you saying? What you was
I wanted to share one of the things that I did this week, because it's really relevant to everything I'm doing. So I have this friend that works for this program called Upward Bound, and it's like a high school program that helps high school students, apply to colleges, study, and sometimes they give grants as well. And
yeah.
he invited me to give a talk. Uh,
Yeah.
Normally, they get together physically and they have a big event, I guess in their high school or college or whatever. But because of COVID, everything was online, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So he invited me to give a talk, and that ended up going like really well.
Oh, nice. That's good.
For me personally, I was able to really explain things well, to listen to them, and to reply to their concerns. You
You
know,
can sum up by saying you influenced them in some way, right?
oh, I can definitely say I influenced them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good, man.
And my friend says that it went pretty well.
Are you guys talking in English or Spanish?
This was in English, so
Nice.
it's like high school students from Massachusetts.
Oh, nice, man. So they see right through the background of you as, I would say, the ongoing immigrant, right?
Yeah, we also talked. We talked about that too. We like the whole point of the talk was to have like difficult dialogue, or topics that are kind of controversial.
Yeah.
So we
Pretty much
talked
what we're
about
doing.
immigration. We talked about a little bit about Black Lives Matter and racism.
Yeah. One of the sad topic, man, but it's very realistic and what is humanly
Yeah,
because that's the key for the society, man. Especially talking about society, it's fucking U.S., man. Because U.S. is right now is I would say very embarrassing. Maybe there's a very extreme way to say it, but that's how it is. Like people see why right now, U.S. like fucking no longer the best country, and that will take many years, to be able to say one of the best. But right now, I don't even see, U.S. has anything good good as some other Asian country. I'm not talking about my home country, Vietnam, but there's so many countries in Asia that have so much better status of anything. Like yeah, now I see the politics can change in the U.S. like boom, 180 degree, with I mean, but it's how most of the country are, when they see the country status. My dad always say, look at the leader, look at the fucking leader. He don't swear, but when he say to me, look at how it is, because that's what happened to my home country. Because the leader looked like a guy who, you know, just like don't have enough sleep and just always like boring and don't know shit. And it is, and maybe I got in trouble. I might get into trouble if I say shit about, uh, communist, my home country. But I don't know. This is English. This is definitely not Vietnamese, so I don't know. They may need to translate it, and just basically, there's a lot of people with the same argument like me, so I'm pretty
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think that we as communicators, we should be very mindful of like the bad things that we could say, but
yeah,
it is also important to not be afraid to say them
because
because
we are influencer. Because we why I was mentioning to you the influencer because we have to be like that. Now we live in the world, and actually maybe we are just a little bit too overconfident in saying that well the world need more of people that want to help the world. But you know, it's okay because we feel powerful enough to help. Because I've been through a lot of places, been through a lot of people. I would say, why I'm so sensitive? Because I care more than what I want to myself. You know, I sleep like basically less than what I expected. I care too much for certain people. Maybe I'm in that kind of zone, you know, that say love zone, but it's okay because not just certain person that I want to care for you, and that's why you. That's like a, you know, we all go through the family that we say tough love actually the best one because we don't want to say sugar candy conversation, right? It's just not gonna help you. We want to see problems. I mean, we want to see grow through just confronting the problems and telling them this is that. And I gotta say that right now I care about US. I bring up those bad situations. I want to be argumentative and extreme, not even a bit extreme, extreme because I keep telling about US is a mess, and you have to keep with the same tone. Otherwise, people saying to me, "I'm a hypocrite." You know, I'm stick with the same word. You know, because I feel like you know even with Biden or Donald Trump, it's not going to change fast. And that's how the reality because politics move so fucking slow. That's why we do the visa
Yeah,
and
no, did you see like Kanye West is running for president?
Kanye West. Yes, yes.
He made some buzz about running for president. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it was a joke, man. Yeah, I mean, I love him to run because he's actually out of the three guys, he's the most energetic guy. I don't know. Definitely, if he had any sort of seriousness, definitely he not qualified. But you know, he's the most energetic because you know, that's how you know the singer has so many energy, so much energy, and uh, but I think the worst thing is I criticize on him is why came this so late? Why not like 2 years ago? You have like about since 2016 to build up for you know the next election, which is 2020 this year. I mean, maybe he's just not serious then for how it is. Because if you're serious, you have to keep reminding yourself, yes, you have life once in a while, you have to sidetrack because that's how life it is. Like me, I know I cannot say I would just have to focus on my projects that I'm running with my friend right now. Maybe they heard it, they don't understand why. Because I have this podcast with you and so many other things that I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them about singing and being, you know, low concentrated on the projects. But that's how reality is. Because I don't have much love for that project. That's what crazy it is. Yeah, that project is just because of COVID and you know just yeah. I would say the program runs so fast within a year, and you know I'm just kind of a guy lately right now, not a tech nerd anymore. I'm a very mixed person, and I would say right now I'm very like an artist, man. Just I don't know, it's just hard to not hiding my emotion and yeah, maybe the way I'm talking right now a little bit more persuasive and it's just unreal because I just had an accident, right? I sound like I'm normal and even more energetic is because
You do.
I think I just, you know, have too much inside energy. Yeah, they call the spirit, man. Yeah, the spirit's even higher than your health. That's how crazy. That's why I cannot keep myself up in sleep. Last night, I swear, man.
You're
When
in the
when I
zone.
sleep, sorry.
You're in the zone.
Yeah, when I'm trying to sleep, I have the vivid dream, man. I feel like, oh, wow, I'm talking and I'm not like, you know, don't have any BS dream like I never had it before. That's how I am. I heard there's a lot of, I mean, not heard, but I know there's a lot of people by talking to them, they they also have a lot of bigger dream when they're in a younger age. That's how crazy because they have that much attachment. But now I just want to say, never in my life I have this lately vivid dream. I would say like half vision, half dream, and definitely it's not like those crazy like helping the earth supernatural. Not even like 50% like Elon Musk. Just whatever I'm dreaming, it's just kind of real. Because I mean that's all. You're right. I'm liking this person so much, and I just risk so much when I say this, and definitely is I care about U.S. Because after this incident, and also Canada, and also basically the world, just right now I want to sum up. I don't care where I live, as long as I have the future. And I think this is not the first time I say it. It's,
Long as you have the future. What do you mean?
yeah, as long as I think like I can basically fulfill my immigration and like have the foundation for myself. Like my future is
Oh,
already fucking unique. It's crazy. Yeah, I want to um, involve one day. Open like founding a company, but we'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know. And definitely, I meet the right person like you, man. You also have that entrepreneurship mentality, and that's very good. And entrepreneurship is just basically people have so many perspectives now today. I think it's just all about the Nike model. Just do it, man. Like just fucking do it,
okay.
and do
So, Ron,
like
do
yeah.
you remember the app called Spoon that I talked to you about?
Um, what's the name again?
Spoon.
Yeah, it's boom. Okay.
So it's an app where it's only audio and you can also go
Okay.
live, right? And so the other
Yeah.
day I decided to try it out. I was making a little video on it, and in the first live stream, I actually made it 10 cents, and I got a couple of viewers, like 2 or 3 followers, and that was from like the first time of me trying. And I know you speak a lot about like so when are the viewers gonna come? When are we gonna get the likes? When are we gonna get the followers? And I really think that for where the followers are in the live stream. That's why I always emphasize Twitch. And Twitch is such a great platform. And the great thing about it is that it makes it like once you open an account and you start streaming, it's like you already founded a business. Because when someone subscribes to you, you already get paid through that. And then you can also set up donations and you can set up many other ways to monetize things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that idea. I know it, but it just yeah. I would
Now,
say I say too much. Maybe it's about time to fucking do it. Yeah.
another thing, so I actually tried like a podcast format with my dad in Spanish on Twitch, and I also like you get organic viewers. At some point we had like 4 to 5 people, and some of them were actually like responding to what we were talking about. We talked a little bit about Kanye West. We talked some more about why they're destroying statues. We talked about our country. So like I definitely think like live streaming is what we need to be doing, because that's what the successful people are doing. You can go on Twitch and you'll see that people are doing all kinds of things. That's when you talk about music, what I picture right away is what I've been seeing on Twitch, is that groups of people stream together. They all have their accounts, so they all have their own like independent persona, and they stream like 4 people, each one with their camera, each one playing their own instrument, and they make it great music, and people go there, they enjoy the music, they enjoy the laughs, the conversations that they have, and they really have no limits. From one point they can go from playing music, then they go to working, then they go to playing Mario Maker. You know, you are free to do whatever you want to do, and there are people out there that really like that and that want to support creators like that.
And yeah, you just somehow pushing me into this very personal a judgment. Maybe it's a goal. I would just elevate it to a goal to make it sound better. Is I need to move out this fucking room because not just it's so small, but it just doesn't have that aura of good background.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's in the heart of downtown, but and also with my incident right now, I cannot do live stream, man. I look like a fucking you know.
Oh, but you don't need to. You don't like when I was live streaming. Sometimes I show my face, sometimes I don't. You know, like there are some popular streamers that don't show anything. They just
Yes.
show whatever they're doing on the screen.
So that is just basically SoundCloud, but yeah, it's not live, so it's not technically SoundCloud. But yeah, we can do it. If it's not video, then definitely we can do it
Yeah,
right.
so
Like
like Spoon,
that's fun.
that's why I think Spoon. I know you said in the beginning you were like, nah, I don't know about that app, but I think it has a future, and apparently it's already big in other countries like in Korea or other countries in Asia.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah. Soon after this week, maybe this weekend, I'm gonna start, you know, playing more with it, and
And
yeah, thank you. You
and
know,
and here's the thing that once we're live streaming, we can have conversations with other people. You know, through Twitch, people come there and they chat. So
yeah,
you can see who your audience is, what they're thinking, and that way we know what to say. On Spoon, you can actually like call somebody in, and then you can talk to them through the app. So the possibilities are endless, you know.
yeah, exactly. But we gotta have the judgment. Hopefully, this is the thing that I want to elevate it to random and to a highest level of craziness. It's lately I just lost a lot of faith in my luck. Like I just hope that we have good people on the audience, man. Not like just crazy people, man.
Oh, that's up to us. What the content we make is gonna attract a certain type of audience. You know, that's up to us to who we attract.
I mean, like maybe people that kind of with the you know the sense of breaking stuff. I try to avoid using that term, hacker, but just I don't know. Is there any better way to circling around the term rather than just explicitly say that? Yeah, but yeah.
Um,
Hopefully, we don't have hacker or bullshit.
Hackers, why are you worrying about hackers when we don't have any viewers yet? I think you're just worrying too much about the future. Man, live in the present. Come on, show me some mindfulness of the present moment.
Well, if we have hacker, we have a good scandal. It's just like
Ah, you see how
anything
you
else.
turn that into a positive? It might even be a good thing. Sometimes bad things are also good things.
It's
You
like
gotta
me, man.
shift your glass, to see the light
Yeah,
shining from it.
just like me, I have this incident. Now I feel like I'm a fucking warrior, man. I just went through a crazy war, and just gonna make me stronger. And yeah, like this is not the original mentality, but definitely I was thinking as similar as to this other friend. Give me the quote, and it's very cliche, right? What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was about to say right now again.
yeah, so it's definitely make me stronger, much more stronger than a lot of these guys say. So what I want to touch is just I talked to you last week about Justin. Justin, I gotta keep saying the same thing. It's not a fucking thing that's given. It's something you have to build, and you have to, and a few people already sacrificed for it. Yeah, when I say a few people already did it, it's related to the incident of George Floyd and
Hmm.
yeah, many other people in the past, Martin Luther King. Yeah, maybe Nelson Mandela too. It's just like why Justin, man? Like Justin is not Justin is that like racism, man. Just not gonna end soon. It, the process mentality. I mean, not mentality, but it's just a thing that reminding us we have to keep improving, keep never get to the stage, the status we feel we fully satisfied with it. We have to keep on going. It's like the endless. Um, the,
I think it goes back to failing. This is actually I actually talked a lot about with the students, and that failing, people are afraid of failing. People are afraid of seeming like they're not good. Like people think that they need to be good at the things they have never done. That's why many people don't try like new activities, like playing an instrument or playing a new sport, because they think that they need to be good, even though it's the first time they ever tried to do that.
well, that makes sense, man. That's no rational why they're afraid because they are realistic, man.
I would
Like,
argue, I would argue against that. I
but
think
it's
you're
not.
wrong, dude. I
The
think
reality is not
what
everyone can be a soccer player.
no, no, no,
Definitely.
no, but it's not about that. It's not about you actually becoming like a professional soccer player. It's about a good mentality when it comes to learning. Learning how to learn is one of the most important things I learned in college. And
Yeah.
you being self-conscious about failing or being self-conscious about what other people think about you because you're trying out this new thing and you're not good is just detrimental to your learning. It's a bad technique to
Exactly.
learn. It's a limiting
Yes.
belief.
Yeah. I think that is also the key. It's just kind of at first sound irrelevant, but actually it's one of the key recipe of learning how to learn. Is you learn to know that you will be there when you fail. You will be fine after you fail big time, right? Not talking about like, oh, you fall over on the sidewalk and you have the scratch and you bleed. Man, that's fucking right. Just a very easy failing. If people wanna, you know, what is that? Already found themselves, sad when you actually have the bleed, scratch. They don't have mentality. They will never have it because that just showed. Oh, after the first round, even they say like zero index, right? Like the preliminary round, you already knocked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to. Yeah, that's how sad it is in life.
All right, wait. I want to give you an example of
Yeah.
my life, right?
Can I say that? I mean, sorry. Can I finish this because
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
the last thing of this whole uh,
We're,
knockout
we're,
round
we're still
stage.
talking about the same thing. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, but this is the analogy, and I'm summarize very quickly. So throughout life, right, you see in many competition, whether in the fucking soccer, and soccer is already Pacific, right? In tennis, golf, and now to reality show, especially in uh, age, sorry, model, next top model competition. The runner-up tend to be more successful. The singer and also the boys, right? You see many runner-up are the one who's supposed to have the biggest smile because, oh man, they got so close to the final, right? Just only be beaten by the winner, right? So they're supposed to have the biggest disappointment, but actually no. They already proved themselves that they have 50% chance of winning the competition already, and that flavor of mixing up with fella and very high caliber. High caliber, I mean that's the ability to already have the 50% of winning competition, make you a fucking, person, a fucking person. I can say better than the person because I mean I cannot say better than person because I would say at the end of the day is that person I mean by the person, right? The special one. That person will actually be very successful. So the points runner up in the reality show tend to be more successful. In soccer, yes. In competition, yes, they run up. So in that year, they only counted run up. But actually, if you look at history, Liverpool they lost to Real Madrid, and actually that kicked them right to the next year. They come in saying, yeah, I think that is 2019. They lost to Real Madrid 2018, right? You remember Gareth Bale with the bicycle kick at the last year of Ronaldo? Right
Probably.
after that, yeah, you remember that, right? With Salah, right? He got injury by Sergio Ramos.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
immediately, and right after that year, I mean, right after that final,
Oh, they hated they,
drop
they,
a
they
fucking
hated
point.
Ramos after that.
Yeah, but what I mean by Liverpool, right? They just grow themselves too much to become a force later that year, and then yeah, now they are very crazy, man. Yeah, okay. So, but I think more or less is the runner-up of the reality show and tend to be more successful than the actual winner of the show. Because when you win something, you have that mentality. Oh, I'm satisfied. I reached there. Maybe I'm gonna end it. Maybe I'm just gonna take a break. Actually, that break is actually not a break. It's like when you have nap, you have to snooze, and even sleep, you snooze. Yeah, it's just easy to say. It actually happens a lot because but I feel like that's a good feeling, man. Oh, I'm gonna sleep more. I'm gonna snooze more. No matter what stage I am, whether I'm alone or whether I'm with someone in the bed, whether I'm about 5 minutes before exam, that good feeling is gonna keep tempting you, man. Right? Like even 5 minutes before the final, you can still feeling like, ah, wow, this exam should not gonna open soon because I'm laying on bed taking a nap. Yeah, but actually it's a fucking killer. That is the crazy of life. How you can turn this around, um, and if it leads to failure, that's good. You can still turn it around. Yeah, I think that's life building. You can still have opportunity, but only until you know uh, that you have limited opportunity. You cannot have fucking like many times. So
All
okay,
right, man. Let me
yep,
tell you. Let me tell you my story that has to do with failing and the first step of success. Okay.
yeah,
So me being Hispanic, I love playing soccer. I love playing football. I grew like when I was one, I was already probably kicking a ball in my crib, right?
wow, awesome, man, lucky man.
When I came here to the United States, I was in the soccer team in my high school, and they got junior varsity and then they got varsity. On
Yeah,
my first year, I was in JV. Then I did good enough, and on the second year, I was going to varsity. It was official. It was the best I could be in my high school,
wow.
which
So
is
basically,
which don't think is that good because my high school wasn't that good in soccer.
oh,
But that's not the point of it.
yeah, but give you confidence, right? I think one night you actually thought, right, dreaming of maybe you can go further to become kind of a player,
Oh,
right?
for
Kind of,
sure, for sure. When I was younger, that was that was probably my first dream.
wow,
Just
that's
because
my
I would play every day. That was a big part of what was in my mind all day, every day.
yeah.
All right,
And the
so
reality is crazy, man, because now you see so many fucking soccer players. They change their life like just out of nowhere, literally 180 degree, right?
but it's not easy to be a top player. I think it's
Yeah,
way
but
more
you
easier
can
to,
read
to
that.
be an influencer and to make money online, to open a
Yeah,
business, a digital business online. Okay, but the point is, in the third game of the season, I tore my ACL,
wow.
right? So
So,
after this, I was not able to keep playing.
yeah, because
And
I also do a lot of like actually not do, but it's a habit. It's like a chronic habit. So I have this addiction of reading a lot of soccer news, and they're not talking a lot about injury, but I know injury about ACL is probably one of the most
so
severe one.
it's
Probably,
also very common.
yeah, probably the most severe one. torn ACL, do you need any surgery or
So in the beginning, I did not have a surgery, and
Wow,
I
right,
guess the doctors kind of thought it would heal by itself.
wow,
So I kind of just rested and rested, and then a couple months later, when I thought it was time for me to try again, I actually started playing tennis, and everything was going okay until during one match I had to run and come into an abrupt stop because my teammate also decided to go for the ball. And when I stopped so abruptly, it's like that tore it again.
yeah,
It was
I know.
probably
It's
healing,
rough.
but then it tore it. And then after that happened, I do get a surgery.
Wow. Yeah, man, you should have that premature rush, man. Yeah, if I were you, I would take a few more months. You sound like you're a fucking warrior, man.
No, I
Maybe
did. I took a
warrior.
couple of months. I had to try again. Like playing sports was
Because
my
I
life.
mean, I think even with top athletes, like just playing soccer player, right? ACL, they even take a year, man, and that is already with a bunch of
Yeah.
fucking big
No, that's
bucks,
true.
millionary service. Like a lot of doctors and already bunch of therapy, and you still have the paycheck while you're injured. So if you like that, man, I would say you already risk with only a few percentage of you getting full recovery, and a lot of percentage of you gonna get back into the
Now,
trouble. But you choose
okay.
it. So,
Now here's the thing. You would think that this was terrible. I was so excited to play varsity and I wanted to score goals. I didn't even get to score one goal as a varsity player. But guess what? I found the positive aspect of all of that, which was that it gave me time to pay attention to studying for the SAT test, which is the only reason I bet why I got into Clark in the first place. So I took this bad thing, like it was terrible. I had to be, especially after the second injury, I had to be in bed with a huge cast on my leg. I was like peeing in a bag for a couple of months. Like it was a bad time.
yeah.
But when I got better, because I couldn't play anymore, I had a much more time. Instead of coming home like at 7 or 8 p.m., or sometimes even 10 p.m. because we had a game, I would come back at 3 and 4, and from 4 to 6 or 4 to 7, I would study for the SAT.
Wow, you're very hard working, man.
I mean, I had to because it was my junior year, and I had never studied for the SAT. There are people that prepare for this even before high school.
Wow,
I didn't
that's
even start thinking about applying to colleges until like 3 more years.
yeah, because you have that very strong mentality of going big for an athlete, right? So that is basically the game of athletes. One, you have that mentality and just basically ambition of wanting to be an athlete. You have to skip high school, like not skipping, but like just basically going by like paperwork, right? It's just like yeah, just optional to go to school to sit and study, right? That's what athletes are, Yeah. So now I see it's a sacrifice game. You cannot do both. You have to sacrifice one for another.
So for me, it was a super bad thing. But
Yeah.
I've always had this thing in my mind where I find the positive in even the most negative thing. And that way, I guess it's my way of adapting or my way of coping with the problem. Because if you just keep worrying and you keep complaining, those things are not helping you grow.
Yeah, but I think I can give a soft counter argument. Okay, when you probably hard soft counter argument, you probably might be a little bit trickier, right? Because your argument are so true, has
Mhm.
nothing to counter it.
I mean,
But I want to say this: a soft, it's not hard counter argument. It's not even hard. Maybe at best it's just a normal. So definitely at the end of the day, it's your argument still win. Like it's like a 4-1, right? Mine just like a very soft, maybe to 4-2 or something, right? It's just a little bit of balancing and redemption for this. Yes, it's crazy to to not not have the sympathy when you lost, when you especially when you have a big failure, right? A failure different from a loss. A loss is just a temporary failure. That's what I mean. When you have a failure, as of basically your dream, your American dream is all behind, and you have this rejection, by anything. So, and people have to be smart enough to know it's in anything, right? So rejection in personal life is has much more huge impact than professional life. There's a professional life at the end of the day. It's not personal, right? So it's not affecting you personally.
Mm.
But yeah, professional life still affecting you because it's the one that gonna give you money, right? Just like the traditional way. But make no mistake, there's nowadays so many ways to make money. So back to the point, well, some argument is you actually have the blast of failing it early. And actually, I feel like I have the blast of failing early as well. Not as early as you, but now at this time, I would say I mean, still early enough. If the people who already have kids has a lot of family obligation, and even people that have not as a normal background like us, like maybe people only have one of the parents, right? Either mom and dad, and they fucked up, like they didn't they couldn't get to the university. They couldn't basically earn a scholarship. So I would say they are in much trouble situation. Um, I think the worst thing is back to that when you have a family, um, at least a wife, right? And you lost a job, and you got kicked out of the country that you're dreaming of, going with your wife to live the life. Then, oh my God, I would say it's a big failure, and so at the age that time not gonna sympathize with you because time already went by so fast. And also we are right now still, I would say, energetic, right? So at least we're not healthy, but we have the energy because now we can feel like, okay, if you cannot sleep like you just have yesterday, you didn't sleep, but you still find yourself, at least conscious, right? Imagine you were 30 or about 40, if you didn't sleep, you still have energy, but definitely it's an insecure energy because you're not going to be able to stay conscious, right? Because I think you're going to have the collapse. They call it like what is that? Like you know, um,
Thinking.
yeah, yeah, fainting, right? Yeah, because you age, you are not young anymore. So that's why there's a lot of these athlete, music, artists, basically art. Those jobs require, um, a lot of, I mean, what is that? Non-brain. I don't know its adjective, but basically it doesn't require a lot of brain energy. They cannot do much more than, I guess, 35 rather than before 35, I guess. So that's why a lot of soccer players retire around 35,
Oh,
right
really?
now maybe 40 if they are goalkeeper. But yeah, you cannot stay up because your energy is run out, man. Your field right now is different. Yeah. So nowadays, just you have to make sure you can have that strategy to optimize. Yes, I agree with you. At the end of the day, it's best to fail, to make a failure, because when you make a failure, you actually realize you have the blast of life lesson, and
Yeah.
every failing is different. So, well, I may feel like I have not a lot of what is that of tragic at your torn ACL as maybe it's a soccer player have a ACL because I see the surgery they have, how crazy it is, and I didn't know the X-ray diagnosis of what your torn ACL is. It totally a torn like a broken ankle, a broken bones, whatever, calf, whatever, right? So I haven't feel the charge, but if it's broken bones, it's crazy. Then I would say, wow, it actually can change your life.
Have you ever broken a bone?
No, I never broke a bone, but I have a lot of. I think I have the two. Let me see, one, two.
I broke one of my bones, one of my forearm.
Wow, I haven't broken a bone, but I have two major surgery. One is for the deep cut that fucking stupid that I just literally cut the whole, tear the whole, arms out. Like, I can't believe it. It's like, I can take it out. I can see my bone inside. It's like, when you chop your chicken, right? You chop the skin. It's kind of like that, but it's not crazy because it's just at the end of the day, you're a human. You're a big animal. You're not a chicken, but you can see that you have this big tear of skin of flesh, right? So basically, a very deep. It's like it tear the flesh apart, and also the second surgery is on the. I think it's some kind of acne that's crazy that lead to the whole. So the whole is actually crazy because actually it gave me a nightmare. That second surgery is actually giving me a nightmare because basically it just both happened in Vietnam, but that one is on my. It's just slightly above my ankle. This one it just give me the whole because it's had the hole inside and has mold and stuff. Yeah, it's just I'm not um, knowledgeable medically enough to describe to you, but it's kind of like that. It's just crazy. They dug it in, they suck it out of the bad liquid, and yeah, it's crazy, man. Because the surgery that have a deep cut, they actually can stitch it. With this one, they cannot stitch it right away. It's just how crazy it is. And it's near the bone, so it doesn't have a lot of flesh to stitch it. And yeah, where I'm right now, I'm retainer, and I feel terrible. Fucking crazy. Yeah. But make no mistake, I went through a lot of health, right? Like, this surgery is not easy. I don't think no one want to get into trouble like me, just having already two major surgery. Luckily, it's not in your face. It's not in in your chest, no small vital. Right? If you have fucking surgery in your chest, my God, man, that will just probably change your life. Luckily, it's in your arm and your leg, not in your face,
Yeah.
not in your head, not in your chest. Yeah. Imagine, right? If you have a deep cut in your chest, man,
Oh, I
maybe
don't
you
know
cannot even, yeah, maybe you cannot even eat, or maybe you have to take many years of doing basically nothing, just sit and recover. That's crazy. And if it's happened in college, man, imagine that. Oh man, and maybe the visa is gonna sponsor
Well,
because
we are lucky that we have what we have.
yeah, we have a surgery or we have been failure before we are supposed to be in critical age because I think critical age is like 18 to 30 surrounding time, and definitely 18 is much better than nearing 30, 31, 35. Because those are when people are keep asking you when you gonna fucking get a family, when you gonna fucking marry, right? If you're not, I'm gonna keep pressuring you. I know you're gonna reject it, but like this would be noise. There's some family that would accept you gonna get late marriage, like you can do it after 35, but there's a lot of noise because friends, they are not really some your friend, right? So there was still some friend who like it's not their fault because they don't understand your whole life story, right? Because this is not easy to just telling you in one night or one conversation. It's just too much. It's like when you um, high school when you were given the linear algebra or differential equation lecture. Can't do it. Cannot do it. It's impossible. Yeah. Or like maybe learning algorithm, learning searching algorithm, extra algorithm given to like a high school student. It's too much. Yeah. It's like this. Yeah. Life story in one conversation. They may not, like me, I would just try to be polite, but I'm not gonna get anything because it's too much. Yeah. Okay, so back to this is I think the lesson is fail early, but not try to fail.
Yeah,
Not
so I wanted to bring actually an economic term to explain this better. To explain to people why failing is actually not a bad thing.
yeah, but it has to be early, man. Yeah, I think that's
Also, we're 45 minutes in. Do you want to give it 15 more minutes and then we make it an hour podcast?
Oh, you have to go early today.
I mean, I got other stuff to do, but I just think we should. I just think an hour. I just think we should aim for an hour. That's a good time frame.
Maybe an hour, 30 minutes, because we have a lot of going on, and I think
I know, bro. I know there's a lot to say. Don't worry. So we just save it for future podcasts.
well, definitely we'll mention about that ice. Um, that what is that? The ice banning potential ban for international students to return to
Yeah.
U.S. This one we have to touch on it. Just maybe 5 minutes, but we have to. Yeah. Get back to your economic terms.
All right, all right. So let's talk about opportunity cost. You know this,
Okay.
right? So, and with this, I'm gonna tell you the other little story about my life.
Yes.
As to like how I used opportunity cost to realize that the only way I could lose is if I didn't make a decision. All right. So back in high school, you know, I had a couple of crushes. I had a crush on a girl I had a class with, and then I had a crush on another girl that she was in another school, like in the same school, but like in another section. And
I love this conversation because it feels like it's a key of every human life. So, okay, I'm gonna make it very extreme but very short because it's gonna be powerful. So Jeff Bezos is not a happy man because at the end of the day he may be the richest man, but he's not happiest because he's not like I feel like doesn't have a true love yet because
mm,
all of the girls falling for him is gonna first look at what right immediately look at his assets, his wealth.
oh, for sure. Like you become part of your wealth, even if you don't want to. Money changes you, and there's no other way around it.
Yeah.
Alright, so I had two girls, and with one of them, I was like friends with. I would talk to them, and with the other one is someone that I never talked to before. Like maybe she has seen me like at some point, but I had never talked to her, right?
Yeah.
So I had a decision to make because my innocent mind thought I had to choose one of them, right? And if I went and flirted with one of them, I couldn't flirt with the other.
Yep.
All right. And for many days, it's probably like dragged on for months. I never talked to the girl I wanted to talk to because I was just thinking and overthinking in my head all the things that could go wrong or maybe could go right or just daydreaming.
Yeah.
But I
But it's
never did
not.
anything until I learned opportunity cost.
Yeah.
And this is what it showed me. It is that the price, the cost of choosing girl A was actually the same thing as giving up girl B, right? And if I chose girl B, then I would be giving up girl A.
Yep. Very
And,
good.
and what that made me realize is that the decision didn't really matter as long as I made a decision. Because the only way I would lose is if I didn't make a decision. Because if I didn't make a decision, I wouldn't have experienced anything, and I would have been stagnant. You know, regardless in life, regardless of whether you choose path A or path B, you're always gonna learn something as long as you're moving. But if you stay in the same place, you're not gonna be learning. You're not gonna be growing. At the
So
end of the
can
day,
you
I finally like had the balls to go talk to the girl I never talked to before, and I mean she was very nice. She told me right off the bat that like either she had somebody or that you
which
know
one is it? A or B?
the what?
Which girl is it? The A girl?
The girl that I didn't know. So one day I finally decided to just randomly go approach her and started talking to her, right? And it ended up working out great, even though it was basically a rejection.
And
Because because like later on she would actually say hi to me now, and this other friend of mine that also knew that like we both liked her. One day the girl like passed in front of us and she said hi to me, and my friend was like, "What? Since when do you know her?" And that was just a big thing for me, even though it was a rejection.
so basically, the girl that you desired to choose actually gave you the rejection, and you choose the one that
No, no, no,
you
no, no,
know.
no, no. So like she basically rejected me in a sense, but I got more than what I gambled because afterwards I would actually like talk to her sometimes. So now I knew her, and it's like I got over that, and I grew more because if I would have never taken the decision to go for girl A or girl B, I would have graduated high school and I would have never known if either of them liked me back.
Yeah, it's a simple, I think, strategy, and it just happened a lot to people, to be honest. But at that age, you already have that mentality, so it's very good. But I want to say that a lot of people have in that situation, and it's not easy. If the two girls are knowing each other, right? If they are kind of in the sense, they can have the change of the cycle of friend. Like maybe they know directly in person, maybe they know each other through a one cycle, or maybe they know each other through two cycle, three cycle. That is be hard because how you're gonna interact with one, gonna also be kind of indirectly go over to another girl.
Well, sure, no, I get what you're saying, but opportunity cost would still apply here. Let's say you don't know,
Yeah, because
it's a
basically
it's a
you have a
triangle,
lot.
it's a love triangle, and you don't know who to go for. But if you go for one, you're gonna learn whether that one is good for you or not.
Yeah, basically the multiply is at that age we are so carefree. We don't have this maturity. We don't have that this sense.
That's not my point at all. My point is like as long
Yeah,
as you're moving, you're better than not moving. As long as you're
yeah,
moving, even if you fail, let's say decision A is a failure and decision B is success. It doesn't matter if you get the failure one or the success one because you're gonna learn from both of them. Sometimes you might actually learn much more if you fail, you know? Because if you go about life and everything's just working for you, you're never gonna know what it means to you. I think
so
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's not the
connect to
important
this.
point of all of this.
So I want to connect to this. I could have, pulled myself up to say it. I would say at best 2 weeks ago, but it's okay. Sooner or later, you know, I'm proud of saying this. So maybe just right now, it's time. And actually, when I say to that particular woman I like, there's never a perfect moment of doing anything.
Yeah.
So you have to actually, but yeah, and actually, I feel like it's a soft, it's a live decision because live decision has a lot of luck in it. That has a lot of that kind of uncontrollable factor in this because when you think you're actually right, you actually can be wrong. That's what I always a person very analytical and think I'm mostly right. Right, I have to make sure I at least 70% right in order to do something. That's kind of the soft threshold I say. So yeah, I basically I say I got a rejection from her is about timing, and actually I still doing it. And I would say the bottom line is I'm not lucky at you. I don't have option B right now. I just thinking just straight to that option. And even I have failed. I swear to God, I've got to come back, keep coming back, but in a more wise way, in a wiser way. Yeah, you cannot coming back same person. You have to be different person, and as much different positively, the better it is. So I think the lesson is just learn from failure and come back.
Move on. Keep moving. Don't
Yeah,
stop.
keep moving, but please come back because if you believe in yourself, okay, this is kind of being too overconfident because there may be a chance. But you know, when I try to stay away from that word you say, you know my mentality. It's because basically this yeah, I don't want to say more. If I say more, you know, it's just crazy.
All right. You want to talk a
You
little
got
bit
that?
about the
Yeah, yeah,
ice
yeah.
ban,
Yes.
and then we can wrap it up.
What is you feel about that? Like for me, I just feel like it's probably the final. Let's say now in the coffin of why U.S. is just basically one of the country you can study abroad. Sorry, but not the best. It's just one option right now because the Canada, the Australia, the UK, the whole Europe, right? The European country nowadays you can speak English. Yes, there would be less sufficient. I mean, if English proficiency when you come to a country that's not natively speaking, that not native English speaker, but still you still learn language and you still in this classroom that learn, yeah, that communicate in English and definitely less expensive than fucking U.S. country. I mean, sorry, U.S. colleges and university. And inside U.S., there's also a lot of cheap college. Not really cheap, but the way I say it's like you pay uh, three times or yeah, at least twice less expensive than private university or liberal art. But the sad thing with this is why they were thinking like this. I don't know what's political motivation of the ICE. Uh, has definitely has something to do with the term and administration, but and I know at the end of the day it's not executed order yet. They still basically right now I would say they are already put themselves in a lot of bullshit because they have to rectify it and because a lot of university already filing the lawsuit against them and I would imagine the eyes has a very big um, powerful organization because it's government, right? So it's and it's immigration, so it's definitely has to be has a lot of political power. They have more chance to win the lawsuit against university, but they just basically put them in the trouble because of making this order longer and basically I think the key of everything is time. Actually, I can relate to Bella because time will change everything. time will heal stuff. Time will heal the incident I have, right? The physical incident I have, the injury you have, the rejection we all have in life, in girls, in relationship, in anything, right? So time will actually heal US because that's what heal you because US will come back. But it's just worry. Even 10 years, oh my God, and no one, like I would say, there are very few person can be patient enough to wait. And definitely, I'm not that person. I cannot wait for 10 years in the U.S. Right? Legally, I cannot. So, not let alone say personally. So, and I think you too as well. But yeah, the key is time is the best thing. Will heal a lot of things, but time is not like a thing that you keep thinking of. Time is it's just it's too sympathetic to be realistic. So in order to be realistic, you have to stick with time range. Right? So time range is back to this is have to change themselves ASAP, and just if they can do it like within a year, that's good. But I cannot see it. So what I mean by change is pretty much political mentality because I feel international students are actually the one who basically already give them a lot of economy in terms of paying the tuition and have a lot of talents in the STEM uh, area. Make no mistake, no, not a lot. Like not every, yeah, definitely not. Let's say not a lot of international students when they study in the U.S. they all go for STEM, and not well, STEM is not the silver bullet, right? So it's not like basically make the economy better. Like basically, you can be an art student, you can be a music major, you can still give the economy of U.S. The biggest thing because, well, when you are very talented, especially in this country, I think at the end of the day, no matter how bullshit they are, they're still the best country in this aspect of touring. So U.S. no matter how shit they are in the entire uh, country history, they still a land of opportunity because they always be like that. They always have that good class of having a lot of competition and a lot of places that give you more opportunity. It's just basically the reality. That's why I want to come back to the West because have a lot of opportunity. That's why we're doing this podcast, and we will stick with it with the U.S. market first because it's just basically the reality, land opportunity. But right now, I want to say it's just they have to change ASAP from political mentality back to the international student giving tuition, and most of them are for STEM, and STEM is the one that pushing US. And in overall, the um, the world, you know, it's not just economy, but everything the better place. So without technology, without science, well, we can do entertain, we can do this all talking, but we're not gonna drive the reality. We only drive the false reality, like the hopeful reality, right? We do entertainment because we want to get that good feeling, but life is all about good feeling. Life is all about like we just speak on the failure. So I think I am kind of very persuasive in linking everything in our whole podcast conversation. So life is all about learning from failure, and what we say is come back or may move on, right? So basically, you have to get that turn. So in order to get that turn, you have to not always positive because you have to like go through the pain and then positive, right? And yeah, entertainment they can tell you about life story through failure, but it's just reality. You have to apply yourself with skill that you can get yourself through the challenge. And Stan pretty much teach you how to solve a problem. So it's the key because everyone have problems. So you have to find yourself, be able to solve through the problems. Yeah.
All right, man.
At the end of the day, is like that's bullshit, and it's just not a very crazy new. It's not
Yeah,
experience.
I don't understand like why the U.S. is so focused on just getting people out of the country. Like they have way too many other things to concentrate on to be
Yeah, they
worrying
have
about that
the
and going out of their way for that.
yeah. I swear, there's a lot of people who actually so-called immigrant. I mean, so-called American or Americanized, naturalized, but they don't give fucking good. You know, maybe I will get myself in trouble, but I swear it's a good thing because that's how justice have to be served, right? It has to be fair, and throughout life, I'm a very fair person, and that's why I like underdog, even though my family background is not like we gone through shit, but we I can shape the story of my little family to say we underdog, but now we're in a very good state because you know my family, my parents naturally established right now, so
Hmm.
but it will still have a lot of things for me to grow on. That's what I kind of proud myself that I have the ability to keep going because I see a lot of family in Vietnam. They have a lot of you know um, healthy wealth for their younger generation, their kids right now, and their kids is not having anything in mind. They just stagnant. That's the word, right? Just staying the same, not worrying too much. I see a lot of those kids. They say they want to just fucking go back to Vietnam, skip this fucking COVID, this college because yeah, American already horrible for them, like COVID, and now with this shit, they say, oh, actually, that's better because now they can have more, what is it? The mentality, the rationale of screw US. I'm gonna go back to the normal, good life I have in Vietnam. So yeah, I think that is makes sense, but actually that is will hurt US because just yeah, yeah, it's kind of complicated. But back to your point, yeah. So I mean, back to the point is already a lot of naturalized people that's that hasn't done much as a lot of immigrant, and I'm speaking a lot of those that fight for their life with employment, like with the H1B, like Indians and maybe a little bit Chinese, but Indian and the rest. They have a lot of intelligence and a lot of skill, so many skill. And it take, I would say, a lot of sweat here because when I study with those people in tech, I know how dedicated they are. Like they're just kind of like a machine, they're just uh, so experienced, and their community within tech is very very powerful. Like they have each other too much, and if the U.S. have this mentality, I would say U.S. are the victim of this. They try to victimize themselves, but actually the victim because cannot mess with the Indian workforce and in terms of STEM because they are very good. Yeah. So in overall, I say yeah, it's not good that just kicking people out unfairly, and not looking at the whole overall picture.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think this is a good time to stop it. I think we
Yeah.
should keep talking about more immigrational issues, like to the next podcast. Definitely,
Yes.
like
Yes.
I have my own spiel of things that I can share about immigration, and that can take a whole podcast by itself.
Yeah. Would be a year we can talk about immigration because honestly, well, we're not white. We're not having any generation in US. For me, it's just like that, man. Uh, yeah, it's a lot of things you have to say. Maybe I care about US too much, but that's how it is. Basically I want to go back there soon, you know, and it's just a land of opportunity. I stick with the word of I can go anywhere as long as I have future, but it's just that the country have the most opportunity is US. So that's why I want to stick with it, but it just the country is not welcoming, man. So,
Then why do you want it so much if you're not welcome?
but they have the opportunity. They have the bad side, and they have good side. Just yeah, you
Just like
want
any
to,
country.
yeah, literally any country have good and bad side. But yeah, because of your goal, just no one want to go to US right now. But in the future, some people, definitely uh, highest energy of those. I feel highest energy of those. I mean, man, I want to, bring stuff there. But let's see how it's going.
Patience, patience. Let's see where the world takes us.
Well, patience is the key, exactly. See how it's going. Maybe you guys can help, and even myself, I can help it. You know, it's just make no mistake. A country like the U.S. is so capitalist. They love money, man.
Hmm.
No matter what fucking you are, whether you poor, I mean, whether you're a refugee or you are, sorry, sorry, from a rival, a bad country. If you can invest in US, you can build the economy a little bit better. I'm
Bad
sure,
country. I don't think they're
I'm
a bad
sure
country. They're just bad people.
ban, like, the country being banned from US in terms of political sanction,
Oh,
yeah.
big bad.
Sorry,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, the point is, if you can help them economy, that's how it is. The game of US is capitalism.
I mean, at this rate, the U.S. is the one that's gonna be banned from other countries.
Yeah,
Like Mexico was actually like trying to keep tourists away and like actually closing the borders because the U.S. has many more cases of COVID. So Mexico was actually trying to not let people in this time.
yeah, smart move, man.
All
Because
right, dude. All right, dude. I gotta get going.
yeah, okay.
I think this was pretty great. There was a lot of energy in this one.
Yeah, that's good because lately I just don't have enough health, but I still have energy. I swear I need to eat more, man. But I feel like I already eat enough, but it's just my metabolism. I already ended the podcast, so don't worry. This thing is just
All right, all right. Then we are done.